Hello, everybody. Welcome to this YouTube Live. I am Jocelyn Starfeather, founder of Sacred Planet. Let me just make sure all of our technology is in place here. Okay, very good. Welcome, welcome. I am delighted to meet with you today, and I'm going to share with you today about the visual astrology of the approaching Venus and Jupiter conjunction, which is really beautiful because we can see it in the nighttime sky. We can watch them getting closer and closer every day and feeling into the energy of that, right? On this very special day, which is Valentine's Day, celebrated all around the world. And that energy of Venus, the energy of love, it's really exciting. And Jupiter is coming together with Venus, and they're amplifying that in the coming weeks, all the way up until March 2nd. So that's beautiful. And also, I want to share with you today just a little bit that's been coming through lately about holding steady during the uplevels. So we'll dive into all of that in just a minute. I welcome you to also check out the other videos on the Sacred Planet YouTube channel. There's lots of really wonderful astrology updates happening here and other updates, interviews, channeling, lots of fun things for you to check out. And be sure to subscribe to my channel so you will get updates about when I go live and other things are announced. And also, I welcome you to visit my website, which is wearesacredplanet.com. And particularly check out the free gift on my homepage of my website, and check out the online courses page, because I have many, many free and donation-based online courses that I think you will really love to help you deepen into the mysteries, the unseen realms and hidden dimensions, as well as ancient cultures and ancient and indigenous wisdom. So check that all out. I hope you will enjoy. Okay, so let's dive in here. I'm going to show you the chart for today. I just set this chart to 11:11 a.m. today, New York time. So very close to when we're actually doing this live call. And I want to show you where Venus and Jupiter are in the sky right now. So Venus is at 23 degrees of Pisces. You can see right here. And Jupiter is at 8 degrees of Aries. Now, these are the two brightest planets in our sky, and they are particularly bright right now. So if you go outside soon after sunset and look generally in a western direction, following the sunset, okay, you will see Venus and Jupiter. They are so bright. If it's a clear evening, you will not be able to miss them. Venus is the one that's a little bit lower in the sky because, as you can see here, Venus is closer to the sun. And at that time, the sun has just set below the horizon. So Venus is the closer to the horizon. And then Jupiter appears just a little bit higher up in the sky than Venus. So you will see them with their two bright lights. They shine so brightly. And both of these planets represent abundance and wealth. Jupiter represents more of our spiritual principles, our wisdom, our spiritual and personal growth and development, our evolution. Venus represents love, beauty, relationships, our values, how we hold our integrity in our life. And so these are considered the two greater benefics in astrology. They are the two most favorable planets. And so when they come together in the sky, as they are already beginning to do right now, it's very powerful. It's actually really important for us. And they will come together until they have their exact conjunction on March 2nd. Now, and their exact conjunction will be at 12 degrees of Aries. So Venus is moving much faster than Jupiter in the sky. She generally does. She's much closer to the sun and closer to the earth. So she is moving much faster in the sky. So it's like Venus is coming and catching up to Jupiter. So you can see right now, Jupiter is at 8 degrees of Aries, and he's only going to move forward 4 more degrees before their conjunction happens. He'll be at 12, but Venus is going to move all the way here from 23 Pisces up to 12 degrees of Aries to meet with Jupiter. So in the evening, in the nighttime sky, you can look up at them. And I welcome you to even speak to them, really connect with Venus and Jupiter. and see what they have to say to you, see what messages they may have. There are mantras to the planets that you can say, and I'll share with you on the screen in just a moment here, a mantra to Jupiter and a mantra to Venus that you can say. Now, before I put these up, I want you to know that these mantras are in the ancient Sanskrit language. Okay. And these mantras have been chanted to these beautiful planets for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, at least 5,000 years, probably much longer than that. So when you say these mantras, I invite you to really tap into the incredible ancient collective energy of all the millions of people in so many generations and so many different lifetimes that have looked up at the sky, looked up to Jupiter and Venus, and chanted these powerful mantras. And when you say these mantras to these planets, it's such an amazing way to connect with them. And it feels like they're really hearing you. I mean, I believe that they are hearing us, that they are feeling the energy of this mantra rippling out into the sacred architecture of the cosmos, and they're able to feel that, and then they're able to send us energy back, right? So this is very, very powerful. Let me share a different screen here so you can see these mantras written out, and I'll make this full screen. So here's the mantra to Jupiter, and I'll pronounce this for you, and then you can take this and go and say these to the planets, maybe even tonight when you see them. So the mantra to Jupiter includes Jupiter's name in Sanskrit, which is Brihaspatiye. Okay, Brihaspatiye means Jupiter. And then we also call Jupiter the teacher or the guru. Okay, so those are the two names that we're calling out to Jupiter in the mantra to him. And then for Venus, Shukraya is one way to pronounce the name of Venus in Sanskrit. So the way that these mantras sound, I'll say the one to Jupiter first. Om Hrim Brihaspatiye Namaha. Om Hrim Guru Nama. And you want to say both lines. Okay, so this is calling upon Jupiter in all of his glory and abundance and beneficence, and calling upon him as the teacher. And then the mantra to Venus is Om Klim Shum Shukraya Nama. Now you can say these as many times as you like. Really use your intuition. There are certain numbers that correspond to certain planets, like Venus makes a 5-pointed star in the sky as she goes through her cycles of retrograde and forward motion over an 8-year period. Okay, so I always feel that the mantra to Venus, I always am called to say it 5 times in a row or multiples of 5. But tune into what's right for you. Tune into how Venus calls upon you to say these mantras, to say the mantra to her. And so I invite you to go out into the sky, or go out tonight, look up into the sky and say these mantras to these planets, and really allow yourself to take a few breaths before you say the mantras. Really settle into the space, become fully present in the moment, and proclaim these mantras to these beautiful, powerful planets. And see what shifts and changes within you. See what messages they send back to you. See what happens. It's very powerful practice. Now, as Jupiter and Venus continue to get closer and closer together, we're going to feel the energy of both of them combined more and more strongly. And again, these are the two greater benefics coming together. So this is a very powerful and beneficial, abundant, and fortunate energy to tap into. So I really do recommend that you go out and say these mantras and ask them for what you need, right? Ask these planets to send you what you've been looking for, what you most deeply desire to bring into your life, and they will assist you and support you. I also have an alchemical prayer that I've been saying for several years now that has created some incredibly powerful shifts and changes in my own life that I will share with you. And I welcome you to say this too, particularly when you're out there with Jupiter and Venus. It's really powerful to say. So this prayer is, dear universe, please send me all of the things that I need the most that I do not even yet know are possible. If you've attended any of my Sacred Planet online courses, you are very familiar with the Alchemical Prayer already. For those who may not be familiar with it yet, try this prayer out. And if you can say this prayer outside with your hands up to the sky, really welcoming in all possibilities, all the vastest potentials that you didn't even yet know were available to you, and just see them rushing toward you, it's extremely powerful. I recommend saying this prayer 3 times a day at whatever time of day feels right for you, and just wait for the alchemical transformational shifts and changes to begin flowing in. It's quite incredible what happens when we say the alchemical prayer. Now, along those lines, I wanted to also share with you this idea of holding steady as we up level. So we are in this time as we enter into 2023. We are in this time when things are accelerating in their pace. New opportunities, new possibilities are coming in. The old things that we didn't need anymore, they're leaving very quickly. Okay, they're being just pushed out of our lives very rapidly so that the new can come in. And these are all part of a massive up level that's happening so that we can fully receive all the light codes, all the positive changes, all the new opportunities that are wanting to come into us in 2023. And these are really going to be significantly kicked off starting in March, when Pluto moves into Aquarius, when Saturn moves into Pisces. Other big transits are happening. Jupiter and Venus are going to be conjuncting with the North Node. These are major, major times we are in. Okay. And so there are big up levels that are moving through us, that are starting to shift and change, and that are going to be even becoming stronger in the coming months. Now, when we go through an up leveling process, what you need to understand is that there are huge amounts of light, huge amounts of sacred geometry streaming into us from the cosmos at this time, and accelerating in the coming months. And all of this is refining our energies, and it is refining our cells, our systems of the body, our energetic field. It is calling us back into highest alignment with all that is, and with the original divine structure of creation. So first of all, to be able to fully receive these up levels, we want to be really sure to eat healthy foods, to do our daily meditation or yoga or whatever practices are most powerful for you. Get plenty of sleep and plenty of exercise whenever we can. Sleep is not always easy when the up levels are happening, so be patient with yourself if you're not sleeping well. But all of this, we want to try to make ourselves a clear channel. We want to be able to receive the downloads and the dreams and the sacred instructions as they're coming through. And when we can receive those downloads and dreams and sacred instructions as beautiful, powerful forms of guidance, and when we can take action on them, then we are going to be up leveling our frequencies. And we're going to be reaching toward and embracing completely new levels of who we're meant to become, right? So this is all wonderful. This is all amazing. And also what happens when we undergo a major up level, when we shift from, like, we were here, we were operating at this point, and then all of a sudden, all of these light codes stream in, and we take a new action and new possibilities open, and we go, okay, our frequency goes up. The sacred geometrical structure of all that we are is like up leveling to the next level. And when that happens, there are certain core parts of ourselves that start to freak out. And these are parts of us that want us to stay small, that want us to keep doing what's familiar, to stay in the comfort zones, to stay with what feels safer, right? And these parts will create distractions, or they will create an illness or a panic attack, or even bring external events in that seem completely separate from you, but that ultimately are distracting you from your purpose, or distracting you from the key actions that you knew you needed to take, or that you were so joyfully taking just yesterday. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, we can drop back down away from that new up-leveled version. And we want to be aware of this, because there are so many up levels coming in, and we're going to be going, and then and then we're going to be continuing on upward. Jupiter and Venus are helping us with this. The alchemical prayer can be helping us with this. But as we're up leveling, we want to really call in our guides and help us stay steady and stable with the up level. All right. We want to be really aware of these like trickstery energies, causing diversions, causing distractions. Sometimes it can come through as feeling like massive doubt or shame or resistance or fear rising up within us. And so if you know that you're in an up-leveling process, if you know you're moving into a whole new state of being of who you are, and all of a sudden you start feeling terrible and you don't know why, or all of a sudden, something in the external world, some kind of crisis happens, and you're like, where is this coming from? We want to realize these are tricksters. Okay. These are forces at work that are trying to keep us in the old version of ourselves. Now, external events are real things. We have to really deal with them, right? We can't just dismiss them, but we want to move through it with highest consciousness. We want to move through it knowing that we are claiming the up level. All right. And we can think of this as, for example, when an Olympic gymnast is doing their amazing leaps and, going over the vault or jumping off the balance beam, they need to stick the landing. That's such an important part of their whole performance, right? Is that they need to stick the landing. And so we can think of it that way. We need to stick the up level. We need to really stay with it. We need to hold calm and grounded in our center. We need to call in our guides constantly and know we have the support all around us. You can even imagine like a council of guides surrounding you and holding you in their highest frequency energy, sending you the light, sending you all the positive vibrational frequency that you need to stick that up level. Okay. To stick it, to hold steady and strong through these changes, through these transformations, through all of the alchemy that is happening for us at this time. So I would love to hear in the chat, how does this land for you? What kind of up levels are you going through these days? What are the distractions that have been coming in to try to take you off base from the up levels? And how are you going to come back to center and keep coming back and focusing on, I'm here. I'm going to stay steady and strong so I can go to the next one, right? And stay steady and strong there and keep moving up, because all of us together, we are building the new world. We are birthing the new world through our own actions, through how we're holding our own energy, through how we are sticking these up levels so powerfully in our own lives. All right. Well, I would love to hear from you in the comments and in the chat. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel if you love what you have heard here today. I'll have more updates for you coming soon. Sending you all lots of love. Big, big hugs. Mwah.